Hello students, I am here again with a very interesting poem of class 8, The Ant and the Cricket. Now the ant and the cricket, it's in Aesop's fable. It is adapted from Aesop's fable. Now what is a fable? A fable is a story which has animal as its main characters and which conveys a moral and ethical value. Now, Aesop was a very famous Greek storyteller who wrote stories, and his entire collection of fables is popularly known as Aesop's fable. Now, this poem that today we are going to study is The Ant and the Cricket. This poem is also one of his collection. So, Ant and the Cricket, this poem is adapted from Aesop's fable. Now, in this particular poem, The Ant and the Cricket has two important characters, or we can say the central characters, two important characters, an ant and a cricket. Now, the poet here has shown the contrasting characters, the contrasting attitudes, or we can say contrasting behavior of these two insects. The ant is very hardworking and is very well prepared for his coming future, whereas cricket is very lazy. He only enjoys the present. He dances, sings, and only enjoys. So the cricket is not worried about the future. Cricket is not at all worried about the future. Now, when the winter comes, so he was happy during the happy summer months, the spring months. Now, when the winter season arrived, what happened? He had nothing to eat. The cricket had nothing to eat. Now, what to do? Now, he goes to the ant to seek for shelter and food. But the ant refuses to give it. And then the cricket learns a lesson. Through this poem, the poet also wants to teach us a lesson. So, there, cricket also learns a lesson, that it should have planned for winter season. It should have planned for his hard days. It should have planned for his future. It should have stored up some food for itself. And it should have decided some strategies so that it could have saved something for the difficult times. Now, we can say that this poem gives a very important message. This poem gives a very important message, and that important message comes in the last line of the poem. The last line of the poem is very interesting, or we can say that that last line is thought-provoking and has a very deep meaning. The last line says, "Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2." Means some human beings are as lazy as crickets. Some cricket have 4 legs, that means the insect. But some have 2. These 2 legs cricket are we human beings. We are also sometimes not prepared for a future. So now let's see the poem line by line. So The Ant and the Cricket. It's adapted from Aesop's fable. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. "Oh, what will become," says the cricket, "of me?" So here, the first line says, a silly young cricket, accustomed to sing. So, the first line itself says, the silly young cricket. Cricket was a bit silly. He was accustomed to sing. Accustomed to sing means habituated to sing. Through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring. Gay means the happy summer months. So, he was fully enjoying the happy summer months and the spring months. Now, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Now, when the winter season arrived and he found that he had nothing to eat, then he began to complain. Not a crumb to be found. Crumb, a piece of bread, chota sa, tukda. Not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground. The whole area was covered with snow. Not a flower could he see. Nothing could be seen due to that snow. Not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? Now he is worried. Now he is worried because he has nothing to eat. He had no shelter. Where to live? What to eat? So now he is very worried. So he was enjoying the warm sunny months. Gay summer and spring, the happy summer months, happy spring season, he was very much enjoying. Now he began to complain. When winter arrived, then he came to know, oh, I have saved nothing for my future. I have saved nothing for my hardship, hard days. I have saved nothing. Now the third para says, at last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant, to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. So here in the third para he says, at last by starvation and famine made bold. Starvation is a situation where we find lack of food. All dripping with wet. He was totally wet and he was trembling. He was shivering. Trembling means shivering. He was shivering with cold. So away he set off to a miserly ant. Now he has gone to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. Now he is only borrowing, he only wants shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. Now in the coming months or in the coming season, he is promising that he would repay it tomorrow. He is going to repay it. And he doesn't want much food, only a mouthful of grain. Some food. So that he could live. If not, if the ant doesn't give him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain, some food, then what will happen? He must die of starvation and sorrow. He had nothing to do. He has not saved anything for his future. So what to do? Now he will die of starvation and sorrow. Now in the next para, says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow and we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say, go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Now here, the ant says to the cricket that, okay, I'm your servant, I'm your friend. I'm your friend also. But we ants have a principle that we ants never borrow and we ants never lend. But he wants to ask the cricket that did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Lay nothing by means save something for future. So did you save nothing for your future when the weather was warm? In the happy month, did you lay nothing? Quoth the cricket, not I. Quoth means said the cricket, no, I did not save anything for my future. And he gives the reason, my heart was so light that I sang day and night. My heart was. So the cricket tells that the ant, he was very happy. He was very happy during the happy months of summer that he sang day and night. He only enjoyed that I sang day and night. He was so happy. And the nature also, it also looked so pleasant that he forgot all about the winter, all the difficult times. He forgot about the winter season. So after hearing this, the ant says, "You sang, sir." You say, "Then go then," says the ant, and dance the winter away. Now, if you have saved nothing, the ant told him, now he should spend the winter also by singing and dancing. Now, in the last paragraph, thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folk call this a fable, I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs, and some have 2. So thus ending, he hastily means quickly, hurriedly. He hastily lifted the wicket. Wicket here are referred to the wings of the cricket. If you have seen cricket, the wings are termed as the wicket. And out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Now the ant says, "Go out. I'm not going to help you." Because they also had a principle that the ants never borrow and the ants never lend. They never borrow, they never lend. Now folk call this a fable. I'll warrant it true. Warrant means promise, give you a guarantee that some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Now, crickets which are having 4 legs are those insects, but some have 2 means we human beings. Here, the 2-leg cricket are we human beings. We also are not worried for our futures. Sometimes we also are not worried for our future. We also are not prepared for our hard days. So here, it's a very thought-provoking line. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Means it is being referred to we humans. We humans also do the same thing. We also enjoy the present. We are not worried about the future. So now we have ended our poem. What would you like to become? An ant or cricket? Definitely like ants. We should be prepared for our future. We should be like ants who will decide and plan for future, but not like crickets who only enjoys the present. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be happy or you are not allowed to be happy. But you must not forget to plan for the future also. Like nowadays, during lockdown, many of you are behaving like crickets, enjoying the present. But remember, when the winter season will arrive, and your winter season means your coming examination, yes, then you will also face the same difficulty like that cricket borrowed for food, you all are going to borrow for notes. And there are students like ants who will not help you. They'll also say, we also have principle, we have faced many difficulties during this lockdown to prepare for those notes, and they are not going to help you. Remember, so be like ants, not like crickets. So with this moral, I end my video. Thank you, students.